It's your boy, Mako the Creative in the Cut, and today we're going to be going over a beat that I made yesterday. And this time I didn't sample from vinyl, I sampled from a cassette tape. And the cassette tape that I selected was one from Van Cleburne. And what really sold me the idea to use this for my beat was that it said piano on it. And anything that says piano automatically, I'm interested. So I was like, cool, let me see what I can find and, make a nice beat from it. The thing is, I didn't do my research on how cassette tapes were recorded, right? So mainly they were recorded in a mono signal, meaning it only plays from one side. So when I was, playing it, it kind of felt weird. And I know you can sample in mono and still work your way around it, but I just wanted to know, how can I convert, if possible, a mono signal to a stereo, right? So it can play from both sides. And the SP-404 MK2 that I used to make the beat allowed me to do so. I didn't use the MPC Live 2 this time. I used the SP-404 MK2 by Roland. It's a sampler that I don't really use that much. I've been neglecting it for quite some time. But moving forward, we're going to be using this a lot. And, the MPC Live 2, yeah. Just kind of have a nice balance of the two so that I'm not using one more than the other. And in some cases, some people, I've seen them use both the SP-404 MK2 and the MPC Live 2 together, right? Mainly using the SP-404 MK2 for effects, and then you just kind of do your audio, signals, wiring, whatever you want to call it, into the MPC Live 2, and then you kind of take those effects from the SP-404 and then put it into whatever project you're working on in the MPC Live 2, or any MPC for that matter. So I just thought it was super cool, to look at this and be like, yo, let's see what type of keys this got, because anything that says piano, I'm excited, right? I'm always excited when I see something that says piano. And with that being said, we're gonna go to the beat that I made yesterday, and we're gonna go over how it came to be, and yeah, and also fun fact, this is take 32 probably. Yeah, I just suck at intros, so didn't know how to really make a nice intro. So I hope this is cool, and as time goes on and the more and more I release videos, I'll be more and more used to it, and then I won't need as many takes. So that's it. So thanks for coming through, and I hope you like the beat. Mako out. Alrighty, so we got the SP-404 MK2 on and ready to go. What we're looking at here is 5 patterns, but really it's 4 that go into the creation of the beat. 5 is just, pattern 5 is just like my tag, right, producer tag that I made recently. So yeah, and it's also my first one I've ever made, right? The original one that I made sounded pretty plain, and I wanted to add effects to it. So basically the producer tag that you're going to hear is the one with effects on it, so it sounds less plain, or just not plain at all, and more cool. So I'm going to play each pattern, and we're just going to hear what each one sounds like. So this is pattern 1.
I
So for pattern 1, all I really did was just lay down some bass, took a bass sample, and then I took a vocal sample and chopped that vocal sample up so that it just wouldn't sound like a plain sample as far as what I would put into a beat to add texture, right? So what I did was I cut it up and have the different parts of that vocal sample be all over the place so that it kind of engages the listener. So it's not just like somebody singing like just a couple words and it's just like all in a straight line, but kind of have it all over the place, be as abstract as possible. That's what I was trying to achieve with that, and I think I did a good job with it. So that's pattern 1, and then we got pattern 2. This is what pattern 2 sounds like. So was trying to go for like a groovy vibe, and I believe I achieved that. Just used the bass line, or yeah, took a bass sample, same one from pattern 1, copied it over to pattern 2, added, took a drum loop, cut it, and then I guess instead of the whole part of the drum loop playing, I think it was really like a quarter that I took out, or just a portion of the whole drum loop, and then just had that on loop, and then try to see what type of vibe I can make with that. And then I had I think it was like a synth pad that I used to kind of add more texture to the beat. So did that for pattern 2, and then pattern 3 sounds like this. So you can kind of already see what's going on here. So I copied pattern 2, pattern 3. All I really did was add a guitar sample on top of what I already did. What I already did with pattern 2, right? So I just added one layer of sound to it. So that guitar sample sounded pretty dope. I also changed the pitch of it just so that it, adds a different type of feel to the beat. What I used to do was all my samples, I would put them in the same key, because I thought that if you use different samples and they all have different keys, it's just, I'm making a big mistake. But at the end of the day, there's no rules to music. You just kind of go in, and whatever sounds nice to your ears, you just go ahead and do it. So ever since I adopted that philosophy, or I guess that way of making music, I don't know if philosophy is the way to say that, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. So just got different samples, played around, did some experimentation, and not all of them have the same pitch. So I was just trying to be cool with that and see what I can come up with. So that was pattern 3, and this is going to be pattern 4. So I know it says pattern 4, but really it's the intro to the beat, right? I decided to make that, I guess, towards the end. So I just, thought that sounded cool, and said, I'm gonna make it be the intro for the beat. So that's pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, pattern 4 that I played for y'all. And of course we got 5 right here, and like I said earlier, it's not really like a pattern for the beat, it's my producer tag. So let's listen to it real quick.
Yo, Mako, what we keep. Yo, Mako, what we keep.
So I didn't really have anything in mind as far as what I wanted it to sound like. It really just happened to be me touching random buttons, and before we know it, I come up with something that sounds, pretty cool. And I didn't really think about those type of vibes, which you guys heard in that producer tag. Like, the deep voice, like the delay, all that stuff. Like I wasn't thinking about that initially before I said, let me try to tweak it up a bit. So really, it just goes to say that most of the stuff that you create, you're not supposed to have like a list of, oh, I want this and this and this. You can have one to kind of set direction, but as far as, oh, I have to do this, like I have to follow the rules in this type of order, otherwise I want to achieve the sound that I like, I feel like you're robbing yourself of that potential that you could, achieve by just experimenting, right? Just having fun. So that's what I'm learning on this journey of beat making / music production, right? So that's that. And now we're gonna hear the complete beat, right? So we're gonna hear how I put patterns 1, 2, 3, 4, and I guess 5 into a way where I, laid down the pathway for what the beat sounds like. So I'm gonna press on hold and then touch 1. So now we got a pattern chain. So this is basically the layout for how I want the beat to go. So yeah, we're gonna play it, and this is what the beat is, the beat that I made yesterday. Hope y'all like it.
Yo, Mako, what we keep.
And there you have it. So that's the beat that I made yesterday. Not too long, not too short, straight to the point, right? So that's what I did. My first somewhat of a complete beat on the SP-404 Mark II in like a long time, right? Like I said before, I neglected this beauty, and you know, I'm rededicating myself to it. So yeah, I'm going to be using this way more now instead of just letting it eat dust. And I hope you guys liked it. And yeah, I'm really just excited for what I have for you guys in the future. Now I'm just in the lab, I'm cooking up, just trying to learn new things, apply what I learn, so that it just doesn't become, you know, productivity in vain, right? Input, input, input. There should be also that same level of output, right? So yeah, I hope you guys liked it, and yeah, till next time. Mako the Creative out.